I just want people to know that as much as it's good to chase greener pastures, like then and now. Oh, let me first start by saying that when we came as immigrants, like I arrived there 2014, things were not as it is today. And I can say that there has been progressive change and improvement to what it was in 2014 till date. And as an immigration consultant as well, I can also see the efforts of the government, because it was in 2017 that the Atlantic Pilot Immigration Program came on board. And through that, New Brunswick has been able to attract a lot of talent, economic immigrants into this region. And I also would not dispute what you said in terms of people leaving for the big city. And if everybody watching this today is thinking of that, then who else is going to remain here? Do you understand? The goal is to also understand yourself and tell yourself, I can make it work, depending on what, your first intention was actually in the first place when you are coming to New Brunswick. As much as there are opportunities in the big cities, I also want you to cast your mind down to the big city was never made overnight. It took people to develop and build the capacity that you are traveling there to go and tap into. Exactly. What if the situation that happened, like maybe in Alberta that time, because a lot of people were also living prior to 2014 in our sets, like our MBA sets and other people were the first set to at least stayed, like from the, because something happened in Alberta that people started losing their job and they started coming towards Atlantic again. So what if you choose to live today to the big city and you have to find yourself back here, to start all over again? Why can't you just give it a shot here and see where the opportunity lies for yourself? This is a challenge and like a rhetorical question I want to put out there. Now, coming back to talk about opportunities and how you can tap into opportunities. When BBPN started, we had a goal and we still have that goal and objective to be that platform wherein you can come through, share your needs with us, and we'll be able to connect you with opportunities. And we have been doing that even though with limited resources that we pull together amongst ourselves, regardless of the fact that we're working 9 to 5. We're all volunteering. Nobody gets paid. When we discover such opportunity, we rally around and share the information as much as possible. And thankfully, over the past weeks, we've also looked out there into the Francophone community to be able to connect our information to them so that they can also share, and it becomes a massive information that is going around. The difference between success and failure is information. When you lack information, chances are you're going to make certain decisions on the balance of probability that you have a little information to act on. That being said, I would recommend that if you really, really love, because come to think of it, New Brunswick is, I've traveled, I've gone to other provinces and I've seen the difference between living in New Brunswick and living out there. When it comes to commuting, value system and all that, congestion, New Brunswick has all that it has to give to us. And there are opportunities to out there. Our own challenge is, how do we take them? How do we build a business needs to say, hey, this opportunity also can come to our community of Black? How connected are all the Black organizations in this province are to be able to know that there is an opportunity in this Black organization that can go to the other organization? I will just conclude by saying that if anybody out there does thinks that there are no opportunities and all that, please give it a try and dig deep. Find your tribe, find Black organizations that are around you, community, multicultural, and check through first before you take that leap. It is only when you've exhausted your opportunity and you can't find that you can move out there. And I also can tell that the government of the economy of Canada is also thrives on entrepreneurship and owning a business. So as a professional also, you can be thinking of your 9 to 5 and also think about an idea, a novel idea that you have that can change your world, and you can start building around it. Canada would empower you to thrive. Before this interview, I was talking to my friends about some opportunities that are out there that people that are working 9 to 5 can tap into on the side. As a matter of fact, there is a grant for you if you're a 9 to 5er. So those are typical opportunities, that you can tap into. The question is, are you looking at the right place to find those opportunities? And if you've looked, you've searched, and you cannot find, please feel free to reach out to organizations around you that could help. We are here to help, to listen, because We also were working with the Atlantic Black Entrepreneurship Knowledge Hub, by extension, the Federal Black Entrepreneurship Knowledge Hub that is housed in Carleton University, to continue to gather information that puts us in New Brunswick on the map, for them to be able to know what our needs are, what are the challenges as a Black professional, as a Black business person, what are the needs that they would be able to know that we're struggling with, that they can also walk through the policymakers to make changes. So we're all part of the change. We cannot sit and say, oh, there's no opportunity, let me just go. If you're already connected to New Brunswick, I would just enjoin you to find that tribe, the people that can really listen to you, genuinely, not selfishly, because some people want to listen to your idea and they take it elsewhere. I tell people, find your tribe. Because when you find your tribe, something will connect and you feel comfortable to share.
Exactly.
And even if you want to share, I will also still recommend you put another step towards protecting yourself, a non-disclosure agreement. Go with your NDA. Any organization that does not want to sign the NDA, or, in terms of your idea, I think you might want to think twice before you continue to share your idea. Ideally, people are meant to take your idea and treat it with the utmost confidentiality. That's what the law requires. But if maybe somebody has been discouraging you, oh, I've been beaten once, I don't go there, don't do this, you can't continue to listen on what people are telling you.
Try for yourself.
Try it out for yourself and protect yourself as much as you can. But if you don't feel compelled enough to continue with that person, find another opportunity or environment. But until you try all the opportunities, all the avenues open to you, it is very wrong to assume that there are no opportunities in New Brunswick. I hope I addressed that.
So anything you want to add there? No?
Yes. So I was thinking, like, when you mentioned, like, we are talking, well, the podcast is here, like, to build, like, the bridges between, like, the community. So what is the action, like, the practical action you do, like, to help, like, to build this, to contribute to build this community, like, in New Brunswick?
What I do myself is, like, I'm a networker. Like, I love to network a lot. And when I do that, I don't do it blindly for myself alone. I understand my strengths and I know the strength of others. And I always recognize the strength of others. And when I'm in a room networking and I realize that this is not something I can do, and I already know somebody that has that skill set, what I always do is to put the name of the person across. Because we rise by lifting others. It's not just a word you read and you walk away from it.
No.
Let's just take exactly, because if you don't do that, you continue to be the successful one in the room. There is an adage in my culture that says a rich man in the multitude of poor people is a poor person himself. Yes. Yeah, there's an adage.
That's it. No, can you say that again, please? No. You need to say it again.
Yeah. I just interpreted it from Yoruba to that, but that's what it means. Like a rich or even a wealthy man, right? In the midst of multitude of poor people, is a poor man himself. Because guess what? Those poor people will come knocking every day. Give me $5, you give them. Give me $5, you give them. Give me. Why can't you teach them how to fish? Do you understand? So it's also the adage that says, teach me how to fish, don't give me the fish, kind of. So that's what I do. That's first thing I do. If I go any places and I realize that, oh, I am saying this and there's an opportunity, I put the name of somebody that I know that has done that thing before and has got a high integrity in terms of delivery. I put it there. That's one thing. Always look out for your tribe that does something far better than you are and try to network or partner, not as competitor, but as a collaborator. The moment we start thinking of the mindset of collaboration, when we go to places where we can stand in rooms all together and you are not scared, you're not afraid, you're not thinking somebody is going to take my shine. We all need to shine together. And when we shine together, the sky is going to be so farther and wider for all of us to fly elderly, not just to fly. When, sometimes there are some relationships that are just, but there are some elder relationships that you know that my friend is rooting for me anyway. And that's what I do. And I tell people, when you go into a room and you cannot tell yourself the honest truth in terms of, hey, I agree with you to a certain extent, but because of my value, I do not agree with you on this. And the person does not respect your value and make you an enemy. You need to think twice about that environment. So coming back to your question, how do we build bridges? Building bridges is also knowing yourself, who you are, what are your value system, what do you set out to do? And when you know yourself, when you know your value, it helps you in the situation of networking. Remember I said I network a lot. In the situation of networking, when you talk to one or two persons and you start understanding what drives that person, it helps you to know, is this the right person I want to work with on this project? And if not, who else am I going to start looking for?
So that's beautiful. The last thing I want us to address is as we're building the Black community, as we are